Coming up on Fulton Today, animal activists applaud the renovations made to the county's animal shelter. We'll take a look. Also, who are all of these new judges presiding in Fulton's Magistrate Court? And legends in the entertainment and comic book industry come to Fulton County to celebrate diversity. That and much more starts right now on Fulton Today. Welcome to Fulton Today, everybody. I'm Shania Chavis-Rucker. Fulton residents called on county leaders to make significant changes to the animal shelter, and now those changes have been made. Those upgrades were made while leaders held public meetings to seek resident input on the design and construction plans for a new animal shelter. Alton Adams led the effort and is the Deputy Chief Operating Officer for Public Safety. Mr. Adams, welcome back to Fulton Today.
Thank you. Good to be here.
So, sir, briefly explain what renovations took place at the current animal shelter.
Well, we recently completed a series of renovations to the front of the house of the shelter. I think the front of the house is where our employees and our visitors interact, individuals who are coming to adopt animals. And so what we did there was basically we did what I'd call a gut rehab of the front of the office, everything from the floor to the ceiling. We redid the floors. We removed what they call a popcorn ceiling, did a lot of repairs to the infrastructure around that, and then we also replaced the furniture and the cabinetry and so on at the front of the house.
And explain why renovate when discussions of a new shelter are taking place.
Well, the scale of a new shelter dictates that it takes anywhere from 18 to 24 months from the time that you actually say this is where we're going to be and this is when we're going to start. We had a number of things that needed to be fixed immediately. We needed to fix the ceiling because there was a cause in a home for rodents, well publicized. We needed to get rid of the lead paint. We need to get rid of some of the asbestos that we found, and so for a whole number of reasons, we needed to improve here again the front of the building to allow for a safe and an attractive venue for our employees and for our volunteers and for the public that's coming to adopt the dogs and cats.
And what's been the reaction of visitors and staff of the new renovations?
The reaction from the staff and from the volunteers has been great. They're ecstatic about the new conditions. That it's going to make it easier for them, obviously, to do their job. It's going to make it easier for those who are visiting who want to adopt a dog or cat or some other animal. So they're very, very pleased. They view this like we do as a stopgap because like those of us who are animal lovers, the volunteers and the employees also care deeply about the back of the building, which hasn't been updated. So I would say they have mixed emotions. Extremely happy that they're going to be able to work in a new environment, but looking forward to the rebuild of the overall shelter.
Now, during the last animal shelter public meeting, Chairman Pitts said he'd like to break ground on a new shelter by the end of the year. What has to happen to make that a reality?
Well, the chairman has been pretty consistent in that being our target. He's actually said it at all three of the sessions that he attended and in other venues. For that to happen, we really need to stay on track. We plan on making a presentation to the BOC with our recommendations in terms of site, type of structure, the costs, and so on in October. To the extent that we get to go ahead and we get to move forward at the site that we've targeted, I think that being able to shovel some dirt, as we've been instructed to do, is quite possible. But we would need to have all the approvals in place, and we'd really need to kind of move very, very quickly on the preparation of the site.
Always great information, Mr. Adams. Thank you so much again for joining us on Fulton Today.
Thank you. It's always great, and love sharing information on our animal shelter.
So will assessment notices go out early next year? That question was one of the topics discussed during the first Board of Assessors meeting of the month. Chief Appraiser Dwight Robinson explained to the board that the question was raised during the special called meeting between commissioners and Atlanta's Board of Education. The APS board chairman explained how an earlier delivery date for assessment notices and tax bills could benefit Atlanta Public Schools.
The Board of Assessors held their meeting and they discussed a number of issues related to this year's valuations and appeals. The 2019, 2018, and 2017 tax digests have been approved by the Department of Revenue, so that's a great step forward.
Commissioners did explain to the APS board that the county has taken measures to get assessment notices and tax bills in the mail earlier. Assessment notices were mailed in June, and after the assessment appeal deadline passed, tax bills were in the mail just days later. Well, there are some new faces on Fulton's Magistrate Court bench. Representatives of Magistrate Court hosted a presentation of magistrate judges for the term 2019 through 2022.
We're so honored to be here today to celebrate all of you.
Presided by TV and radio journalist Lisa Rayam, the ceremony honored 25 new magistrate judges now serving county residents.
This is an amazing team of judges with very different legal experience, very different life experience. And so people coming before us for the People's Court will have the opportunity to see that these judges see and recognize them. And so this is a wonderful day.
Commissioners, religious leaders, and members of Fulton's justice community joined with family and friends inside Assembly Hall to celebrate the hard work these judges have made to get to this point of their legal careers.
Today has been a reminder of how wonderful it is to be in this position and also how humbling it is. I'm surrounded by some of the best legal minds I've ever encountered in my life, a bunch of colleagues that I can always count on, and seeing people that we are supported by and people who love us and care about us all together, it couldn't be much better.
To have this opportunity of the trust with Chief Judge Kirk, all the Superior Court judges, the state court judges, and the citizens of Fulton County, it means the most that my city that I grew up with has put into faith in me to help to dispense justice, equity, and a little bit of fairness into the court system, into the daily lives of our citizens.
After they were sworn in earlier this year, Chief Magistrate Judge Cassandra Kirk appointed the court's judges with the approval of Fulton's state and superior court judges. Now, magistrate judges serve terms concurrent with the chief magistrate. And the latest class of public safety officers are now ready to serve at the Fulton County Jail. As the inmate population of the Rice Street facility continues to grow, the services of these new officers are needed more now than ever. FGTV's Brian Robinson has the story.
I do. Congratulations, folks.
The applause was well deserved for these 9 former cadets, now detention officers, who graduated from basic jail certification training. The afternoon was topped off by family members pinning their loved one's badge to their uniform. However, there was nothing basic about getting to this point.
It's the way that the participants earn their certification in jail procedures. It's our way of teaching what they are going to need to operate and work in the jail as detention officers. It is a training that brings a bit of stability, if you will, to the training. It's the same training that all of them get, and it allows us to articulate within the jail SOPs properly.
Basic jail certification training is a 2-week, 80-hour program. In that time, cadets are taught self-defense tactics as well as emergency procedures, inmate rights, and inmate discipline. They also learn medical activities like first aid, CPR, cell searches, and inmate supervision. That supervision is greatly needed as Fulton leaders work with the Sheriff's Office in decreasing the jail's population, a population that rose to over 3,000 earlier this summer. Despite the high number of inmates, their safety is a top priority for these newest members of the Rice Street facility staff.
That doesn't mean that they are less than human, and we want to ensure that people are treated humanely and within the law. This training has given them what they need as the basis to do just that. But it's about serving our community. It's about serving Fulton County with the best that we can provide.
And while these cadets are now on the job, the Sheriff's Office is still looking to add more. You can apply by logging on to fultonsheriff.org. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Brian Robinson.
Thank you very much, sir. The leadership team from the Office of the Clerk of Superior and Magistrate Court visit Project Open Hand Atlanta to help prepare and package meals. The group put together meals that will be delivered to residents with terminal illness, the disabled, and the elderly who are unable to leave their homes.
I'm hoping that it just brings us closer to the community, that it helps us to see there are people in need, and it's our responsibility to make sure that we give.
Clerk Kathleen Tina Robinson entered into a community enrichment partnership with Open Hand Atlanta last year. The partnership allows the clerk and her staff to volunteer at the nonprofit organization at least once a quarter.
The best leader is someone who is a servant, so this is absolutely an opportunity to be a servant, and I can't think of a better way to show leadership both at Fulton County and in our community other than to serve the constituents.
And Fulton County has been a terrific partner of ours, coming in actually to help us package up those meals and deliver them themselves. We actually have the many Fulton County employees here today. The clerk's office is here, and what a great team they are. It's like the cavalry when they come in.
The clerk's office processes, secures, and houses all criminal, civil, real estate, and Board of Equalization records that originate in Fulton County. And still to come on Fulton Today, some of the biggest names in the comic book industry are honored for their colorful contributions to the beloved genre. As a part of our district by district coverage, next. Fulton commissioners recognize efforts by one group to combat chronic school absenteeism and host a celebration of comic books. Here's this week's district by district coverage. More kids are loading school buses this year and heading to class thanks to the efforts of one nonprofit organization. Fulton commissioners honored the Truancy Intervention Project for the work they do serving children ages 5 to 15 declared truant in the Atlanta City and Fulton County public school systems.
Some years ago, I learned about the county's Truancy Intervention Program and was astounded at the program and the effect it has on young people, and the fact that it is so unknown. One of those special programs, people working hard to make a difference, and I thought the world ought to know about it.
TIP provides resources and intervention services to children who are chronically absent from school and, as a result, either become involved with the local juvenile court or are referred for early intervention at the school level. Now, since 1992, TIP has helped nearly 11,000 children in Fulton County with an overall success rate exceeding 85%. More than 1,000 Atlanta attorneys have donated over 39,000 hours of their time, valued at well over $5 million to Truancy Intervention Project cases. District 5 Commissioner Marvin Arrington Jr. and the Auburn Avenue branch of the Fulton County Library System host a day-long celebration of comic books and efforts to reflect diversity in this art form. The event, Color of Comics Behind the Black Panther, included panel discussions and exhibitors. The Color of Comics honored the late, great Marvel artist Billy Graham, who was the first African-American to draw both the Black Panther and the Luke Cage characters for Marvel in the 70s.
The Black Panther itself was created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, but he didn't have his own comic book until 1972, and that is when Don McGregor and Billy Graham took over.
Both Don McGregor, the original writer of the Black Panther comic series, and Alex Simmons, who worked on a recent book about the Black Panther comic, joined the discussion. The day-long free event was held at the Auburn Avenue African American Research Library. And for District 6 residents, here is your reminder that if you didn't take advantage of the final early voting opportunities this week, then you must vote on Election Day at your assigned precinct. County officials opened up 5 early voting sites for the special election, including the East Point Library, the C.T. Martin Auditorium and Rec Center, the Fairburn Library, the South Fulton Service Center, and the Fulton County Government Center. Now, Election Day is September 17th. You can visit FultonElections.com or call 404-612-7020 for more information. Now, you can catch more of your commissioners at work all this week with a rebroadcast of the Board of Commissioners meeting right here on FGTV. And coming up next on Fulton Today, standing strong for those who suffer substance abuse and behavioral health disorders. Stay with us. Fulton County observes National Recovery Month with a focus this year on opioid use disorder and strategies to support recovery. FGTV's Melissa Lewis has a story.
While this table inside Fulton Government Center may look like just any other, on this day, professionals with the county's behavioral health team hoped that the information placed here would help to possibly save someone's life.
Statistics show that 1 in 10 people who need care for substance use disorders get it.
This is the Together We Are Stronger Recovery Fair, hosted by the Fulton County Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Disabilities, behavioral health resource providers, and community organizations, and is just one of the many events planned in the county in recognition of National Recovery Month.
Fulton County has been one of our biggest supporters since we came to Atlanta a couple years ago for our 5K, and it's grown, their participation's grown since then and gone beyond the accountability core, which is where our partnership started and really has gone into every aspect of Fulton County. And to be here when Fulton County is announcing the proclamation for September to be National Recovery Month is so special, and I think it says a lot about Fulton County and its dedication to helping to end the stigma around addiction and to encourage their residents to celebrate their recovery.
As this recovery fair was going on outside of Fulton's Assembly Hall,
and does hereby proclaim September as Recovery Month in Fulton County, Georgia.
Inside the hall, Fulton commissioners declared a special day in observance of National Recovery Month.
Because of their continuous budget allocations, we are able to stand here today and say, together we are stronger.
This mission all month long is to offer resources for recovery for those who suffer from substance abuse or other behavioral health disorders. However, Fulton representatives want residents to know that they are also just a phone call or visit away 365 days a year. Next week on Fulton Today, we will show you what happened at the Together We Are Stronger Town Hall Forum when the county partnered with the Georgia Department of Behavioral Health and Developmental Disabilities. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Melissa Lewis.
Thank you very much, Melissa. Some Fulton County residents get a lesson that could one day save someone's life. Representatives from the Vitality Safety Group stopped by the Watley Southeast Library to provide free CPR, first aid, and AED training.
So we do this class here at the library once a week, every Tuesdays. We also do it at the YMCA. But the class is free, okay, so you can come and take the training. However, if you want to become certified, then that's when you will receive your actual CPR card certification from the American Heart Association.
Now, according to the American Heart Association, nearly 45% of out-of-hospital cardiac arrest victims survived when bystander CPR was administered.
Well, it's important to learn CPR because anyone may need help, and we want everyone to be able to feel equipped and feel confident in helping someone in need.
Between 300 and 400,000 people experience sudden cardiac arrest in a non-hospital environment every year, and the survival rate outside of a hospital setting is only 1% to 5%. But the chance of survival increases considerably if they can be immediately treated with an AED. This CPR and AED training is designed to help save people's lives. The tremendously popular pilot project between the county's Arts and Culture and Senior Services departments is a pilot no more. It's coming back and starts this week. The initiative, called Living Out Loud, was a showcasing of various art forms created exclusively by Fulton's senior population. The classes are underway but requires registration still.
Any Fulton County resident age 55 and above is eligible for the Living Out Loud program. Research shows that lifelong learning is very important to the senior population, so I definitely encourage anyone eligible to register.
Last year, the 10-week program included instruction in dance, theater, visual arts, and much more. This year's sessions promises to offer even more.
In addition to the wonderful classes that were offered last year, this year the Arts and Culture Department is offering piano, quilting, ballroom dancing, yoga, and so many other classes that will really pique our seniors' interest. I'm excited about the transportation provision that's being made available throughout the duration of the program Living Out Loud. So anyone who does not have safe or reliable transportation can contact us, and they will be able to attend their classes at just $1 per trip.
Classes end December 19th, but you can contact the Star Line if you want to get more details. And up next on Fulton Today, the county's library staff celebrates the arrival of this year's Dragon Con with some unique characters. Stay with us, everybody. Well, your child's artistic skills could make a big splash in the world of water conservation. The Water Resources Division of Public Works is looking for all Fulton County students to participate in its annual Arts Calendar Contest. It's open to current Fulton County students from the age of kindergarten all the way through high school. Entries need to show how we all use, conserve, waste, or misuse water.
Because we talk about water conservation in our homes, but it's also important that water conservation is looked at as an environmental standpoint. What does the ecosystem need? And we get our drinking water from the Chattahoochee River here in Metro Atlanta for Fulton County residents. And to make sure that the water that we're taking out to use for that drinking water, before we put it back in, we're also making sure that it's clean as well. So we want students to be engaged in that process.
From the submitted drawings, one grand prize cover winner and 12 monthly winners will be featured in the 2020 art calendar. All winners will receive a gift certificate and the copies of their calendar. Drawings and an entry form must be submitted by Monday, September 23rd to the address shown right here. And of course, good luck to everybody who enters. And finally, in case you missed it, one of downtown Atlanta's biggest events receives a major welcome from Fulton County staff. Fulton County Library and Arts and Culture representatives hosted a welcome party for those who attended this year's Dragon Con. Held at Woodruff Park, attendees engaged in free electronic activities like virtual reality gaming, Atari Flashback, and Nintendo NES. There were even giant yard game versions of Jenga and Connect 4.
The Fulton County Library is hosting. We're here today with the Clayton County Library, the Gwinnett County Library, the Georgia Library for Accessible Statewide Services. We're also here with the Atlanta Citizens Review Board, the Coweta County Library, and the Fulton Art Department. And we're just here to say to everyone that's from out of town, welcome to Atlanta, welcome to Dragon Con, and we want to showcase some of what the libraries here and the art department here in Fulton County have to offer.
The Fulton County Pop-Up Library was on hand to give visitors access to their favorite comics and graphic novels. And in honor of National Library Card Sign-Up Month, guests were able to sign up for a free library card. The Arts and Culture Department staff took free pictures to help everyone remember the day. Dragon Con started in Atlanta, get this, way back in 1987. It was good to have everybody here. And before we go, our reminder that FGTV wants to connect with you online. Be sure to follow FGTV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for up-to-date Fulton County news. And of course, you can watch a replay of this show and any other FGTV program anytime on our YouTube channel, so please subscribe. And that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. I'm Shania Chavis-Rucker. Thank you so much for watching. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.